I'm gonna kind of break down some of my main expenses. $92,000.
Yes, it's good to see you all again.
Who's Brian?
Yet he is no ordinary man.
What is up, guys? Cam's Kicks here, bringing you guys another video. So this is another bit of a different video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about something that I'm sure a lot of people have actually been wondering, and it's how much money do you actually spend in a month as a business owner. Now, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm 19. Obviously I own a business. I'm working on opening a second store right now. And also, for anyone that doesn't know, it's very expensive owning a store, and that's not meant to brag or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't know. So I spent close to 6 figures some months just in expenses. So today I'm going to break down some of those expenses. But before I do that, I actually have to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Now, for anyone that doesn't know what Skillshare is, it's actually a really cool website where you can learn pretty much anything. They have classes that teach you so many different things, anything from like filmmaking, classes to help you with business, school, pretty much anything you want to learn, I'm pretty sure they have. So if you guys want to learn about elephants, I'm sure they got a class for that. Pretty much anything, like I said. I know I keep saying it, but it's crazy. Almost anything you guys want to learn, you guys can definitely learn it on Skillshare. Now, there's actually one class in particular that I want to talk about today. Now, this class is actually called Productivity for Creatives, Build a System that Brings Out Your Best. Now, this one's taught by Thomas Frank, and this one's very informative because if you guys don't know, for anything to succeed, you definitely have to have a very good system for it. A great example, me opening up a store, you can't just open that up without any type of system. You definitely have to have a big plan in place and do a lot of planning, and this video is very cool because it teaches you exactly how to do those type of things, and you have to be very systematic and be very strategic when thinking about doing things like that. So definitely make sure to check out that class. All right, guys, so last thing, and then we'll get right into the video. So if any of you guys are interested in Skillshare, you guys definitely have to make sure to check it out. Link in the description down below, and the first 1,000 people to use that link will actually get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium. So that'll be free for a month. Definitely have to check it out. There's so many classes you guys can learn, and let's get right into the video now. All right, guys, so let's get right into it. Now, like I said, owning a business is obviously very expensive, and a lot of people just don't know how much it really costs behind the scenes. So I'm gonna kind of break down some of my main expenses and just talk about what I spend my money on kind of month to month. Now, I'm gonna talk about 2 of my biggest months. Now, the most I ever spent in a month was about $92,000. I'll pop up the exact amount right there. But this month that I'm actually gonna be talking about was one of the greatest months of my life, and this was actually May. And this month was actually the month of Dallas Sneaker Con. Probably the best sneaker show I've ever been to be honest. Just in terms of like how many people I met so many great people there. We spent $60,000 there, so that's why that month was so expensive. So the total I spent that month was actually $76,672.56. Now, I said I spent $60,000 at Dallas Sneaker Con. That's obviously an additional about $16,000 that I spent, just according to my bank statement, but I'm pretty sure that's about accurate. So there's obviously a lot more that goes into it just than buying shoes. So I'm gonna kind of break down some of those expenses and talk to you guys about it. So probably my biggest expense is obviously payroll. And I don't remember how many employees I had at that time, but currently I have 7 employees counting myself. Now, some people are wondering, why do you count yourself? Well, because I actually am paying myself a small salary now, just because obviously I live on my own. I have to pay rent and personal expenses like that, so I can't just always take that out of the business. So now I pay myself a salary, and then I have 6 other employees. That's gonna be Ronnie, Henry, Frankie, Damo, Danny, and I actually have a 6th person that kind of helps me with some stuff behind the scenes. But I do have 7 employees counting myself, like I just said. So that's my biggest expense. I'm gonna add that up right now and see about how much that is a month. All right, so my current payroll right now is about $20,000. I just added everything up. Now, that sounds very expensive, but it's definitely worth it. I couldn't do anything without my team, so big shout out to them. And I do pay my employees extremely well, so for anyone that thinks I pay them minimum wage, I definitely pay them a lot more than that. And I just like to surround myself with people that I know are a great asset to the team, and I wouldn't be paying them so much if I didn't think they really added a lot of value. So that's kind of why I do that. And a question that I've been asked a lot lately is when we're hiring for Dallas. So there's still so many things that need to be done there. Unfortunately, there's so many permits and just things that people would never even know about just to open a store. So unfortunately, it might take another month or two to open that. We're definitely going to keep you guys posted though. As soon as we know when we can get closer to opening, we're definitely going to announce a grand opening date. But right now, we still don't have one. So we're not going to be hiring anyone in the Dallas location until we have that, because we just don't want to give people jobs and then say you can't start until this date and it ends up being way later. So that's kind of the thing with that. So right now we're not hiring, but we are looking for a video editor in Dallas still. So make sure to email camskicksjoboffers@gmail.com if any of you guys are interested in editing and you're in the Dallas area, because we definitely still need an editor here. And we will be announcing once we're going to start hiring at the Dallas location. But for now, I have 7 employees, like I said, counting myself. My current payroll total is about $20,000 a month. So I know what you guys might be thinking. Obviously, that amount right there, plus the $60,000 I spent in May, is already more than $76,000 that I spent that month. Now, I think I used to pay them a little bit less that month. That might have been why. And that might not have been completely accurate of how much I spent. That's just what my bank statement says. I might have had cash left over from the previous month that I spent, and that wasn't included in that. So that's just what that says. But now I'm going to be going through some of my expenses and reading it to you guys. Besides payroll, I want to show you guys exactly what some of my expenses are. Now, this one was $518.56. Now, Shopify actually charges us almost every day now. I think they take some type of percentage from sales, but they also charge us for shipping labels. We buy most of our shipping labels through them, but we also buy them through GoShippo. We just buy them through GoShippo, and then we just update the tracking manually. So you guys are definitely going to see some GoShippo charges as well, but that's actually the first charge that I saw. Now, the next charge is for $210.39. Now, this is actually for a U-Haul. We usually do get a U-Haul almost every month. Just when we travel to sneaker shows, we always get a U-Haul or a rental car. So that's an expense that comes up all the time. It's usually about $200 to $400, just depending on how long we need it for. Now, this next charge is for $482.88. This is actually for an Airbnb. So I actually got an Airbnb for San Diego when we went to the Kobe swap meet. But I bought it before we went there, so I don't think we actually went there that month, but we just had to get the Airbnb in advance. Now, this next one's for $90.31. It says supplies on Amazon, so we do get a lot of our store supplies from there, like little things that we might need around the store. Also, we shop at Lowe's a lot to get some of that stuff, but Amazon was where we got it from that time. This next charge is for $939.62. Now, this was actually for a couple flights to San Diego, also for the Kobe swap meet. I think it's going to be the following month. I'm pretty sure it was in June if I remember correctly, so we just kind of got all of our stuff the month before. But this is another expense that comes up all the time because obviously I'm always traveling, so flights is definitely a big expense that always comes up. Oh, and one expense I forgot to mention that was before some of that was actually my store rent. So I currently pay $1,100.50 every month for my store rent in York. Now, my rent here in Dallas is about 3 times that, but that's my current rate that I pay in York. So that's a monthly expense that's always going to come up. And another thing that always comes up is insurance. Now, that month, the insurance cost was $168.50. That's usually what it was, but now I just changed my insurance provider just because I have 2 locations. So I actually have a different company. It's going to be a bit more expensive now, since I have to pay for 2 locations. Now, this next charge was for $36 at Champs Sporting Goods. This was actually for cleaning supplies. So this was before Reshoevnator was sponsoring the video. So we actually would buy some of our cleaning supplies at like sneaker stores like that, or we would go to like Lowe's and buy supplies there. But now, like I said, we do use Reshoevnator. So make sure to check out the link in the description down below if you guys want to get 10% off your entire order from Reshoevnator. That's definitely something that you guys want to do because they have a lot of great products and you guys can get 10% off. So why not? Now, there's actually a lot of food transactions on here as well. This was when I wasn't really keeping my personal expenses separate, so now I am paying myself a salary. I wasn't back then, but there is a lot of food charges on there just for some of the meals that we would buy, like we would do some business dinners and things like that. So that definitely added up pretty quickly. As I'm sure you guys know, a lot of those were actually from Chick-fil-A. We did eat there a lot, so there's a lot of Chick-fil-A charges. Let me find one real quick. This one is for $38.23, so I'm not sure how much all of them were, but I'm just going to read out that one food expense right there. There's also a lot of expenses, like I said, payroll. I already mentioned that, so it's just saying paid employee and how much I paid them. So I already told you guys that, so I'm not going to read those again. Then there's 4 charges for $119.34 each. These are all GoShippo bills. Like I said, a lot of our shipping labels are bought directly on Shopify, but when we have bigger orders and we have to ship multiple boxes and like bigger boxes, a lot of times we actually use GoShippo, so that's what those bills were for right there. This next one's for $46.21. This was the electric bill for that month. Obviously, you need electricity in the store, so that was just what the electric bill was that month. This next one's for $206.75. Now, this was actually a flight to Miami. I think we went to Miami either that month or the following month, but we went there for a few days as kind of a mini vacation and a business meeting. So we bought the flight for Miami that month. That was towards the end of the month. Like I said, another thing that we always buy is flights, so that's just going to be a reoccurring expense as well whenever we travel. Now, this last one was very expensive. This was $2,264.58. This was a brand new iMac that we could start editing videos on, because before we were just either editing on my phone or on an old iPad or old computer that didn't really work that well. So I wanted to get a brand new iMac just that had all the latest software and just that was running perfectly fine, so we could have a lot of storage and upload big videos. So that was a pretty big expense towards the end of the month. I also spent $84.79 on a micro SD card adapter. Now this actually adapts the micro SD card from the GoPros that we used to film on directly into the computer. So that's kind of how we would edit them. Now we film on Canon products. I'm filming on the Canon G7X Mark III right now, and I also have a Canon 90D. We try to bring better quality as much as we can, so we don't use GoPros too much anymore. But once I start doing store videos again in Dallas, it might be easier just to kind of shoot on a GoPro if I'm just doing like some of the transactions. So we'll see how that goes. We definitely wanted to upgrade the quality and kind of give you guys some better quality videos. And yeah, there's definitely a lot more expenses, but I'm not going to read out every single expense. Those were definitely some of the main ones. So now you guys know some of the behind the scenes stuff and what I spend my money on. Like I said, there's definitely a lot of expenses that some people just might have never guessed, and it's very expensive running a business. So big shout out to everyone for the continued support. Honestly, we couldn't do this without you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. Definitely make sure to like, comment, and share this video. Comment down below too if you guys want to see some more finance videos and videos kind of behind the scenes talking about what I spend my money on and stuff like that, because I think a lot of people find it interesting because some people just don't know this type of stuff. And as always, make sure to check out the site camskicks.com. We upload new inventory daily there, and we also do have merch. And we have two Instagram accounts now, camskicks.sc and camskicks.dtx. That's where we post all the Dallas store updates, so we'll definitely be posting all the stuff once the stores open there. And we've already been posting a few things. Like we do have some shoes for sale there right now, so you guys can go check that out. And lastly, we just started a brand new YouTube channel. It's called CamsKicksPA. Alright, sorry guys, my camera just died. So we're actually going to be doing all the Dallas store videos on the main channel. And then Cam's Kicks PA is where we're going to be posting all the York store videos. So definitely make sure to go subscribe to that channel. It's live now. Our first video is out. We're going to be posting weekly updates there. So definitely make sure to go check it out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.